Welcome back to the Cotton and Conservation video series. I'm Mike Bragg, Dallam County Extension Agent. It's always windy out here. We crouch down out here to get out of the wind so the sound quality is a little better and not to make the cotton look taller, although it needs a little help. How much cotton can you grow on less than 12 inches of rain or total moisture? And remember, we get moisture from three different sources. We get it from rainfall, from irrigation, and from soil moisture. That's the three sources. And well, this is an example out here in this field of how much cotton you can grow on less than 12 inches of total moisture. Remember, 2 weeks ago we was out here doing some yield estimates. Out here in this particular variety, we estimated 1.25 bales per acre. That's really not, we wanted to do a little better than that, but considering the conditions that we had this year and the lack of rainfall, I think that speaks volumes for how water efficient cotton is and how much it can do on very little water. We gathered our weather station data. Our weather station is just on the end of this field, and we had 6.9 inches of total moisture from the day we planted on May the 28th all the way to now. And then we put on 13 passes through our center pivot irrigation system, starting about the middle of June and going to the middle of September. And that at 0.25 inches per pass comes up to about 3.25 total inches, and that's assuming 100% efficiency, which we know it's not 100% efficient, especially out here in this wind, but we could probably consider it to be somewhere around 90% efficient. But let's go ahead and consider or use 100% efficiency for now. And then we had about 2 inches of moisture coming out of our soil profile. So if we add all those together, we come up with 12.15, and then going back to our irrigation system not being 100% efficient, that would easily get us under 12 inches. And so that's what we got out here. That's what we got for this year. And now I want to talk about where our yield comes from. We use this plant for an example. And our first position bolls are these bolls that are close to the main stem. And these first position bolls will make up about anywhere from 66 to 75% of our total yield. So these first position bolls are very critical as they contribute to yield. The second position bolls are not going to be quite as contributing to yield, somewhere around 18 to 21% of yield. And third position bolls, which there's not a third position boll on that branch, but there is over here on this branch, they'll only contribute anywhere from about 3 to 5% of total yield. And notice some of these only have first position bolls. Here's one that has a second position boll, but it's really not very good. And notice I picked a plant where there is a skip because it has a few more bolls. If we're going into the row where there's not any skips, we're probably not going to see any third position bolls. Now let's talk about where we were on heat units. Up to date, we've got 2,048.8 heat units on this crop, and we're pretty much done. The last 5 days, we haven't accumulated any heat units. Our maximum temperature was achieved on July the 19th. It was 108 degrees, and our minimum temperature just the other day on 10/7 was 35.7. We did harvest the corn that's in this field, and it went 230 bushels dry, and so that's pretty good considered that we didn't have a whole lot of rainfall. One other thing that I also might mention, we did our bloom tagging project here, and we talked about that in an earlier video, but that was also duplicated over at the Eder location and getting about the same results. And so basically what we deducted from that, when we got our first bloom in July the 22nd, from July the 22nd to August the 8th is where we made our crop. And from August the 8th on, we just had a lot of bloom shed. And we showed that graph earlier, and Jordan has done the same thing over at the Eder location and got pretty much the same results. The last thing I'll talk about is defoliation. We're not going to put a defoliant on this crop. We're expecting to get 25 degrees for a low on Thursday and 29 for a low on Friday. And so we think Mother Nature is going to go ahead and defoliate this crop. We won't have to put any more additional money into it. from that standpoint. So we're just going to wait and see what happens. Our next video, maybe this field will be totally white.